If you're looking to build a minimal home gym, I will help you with what I think is the most essential equipment to buy and what you should take in consideration. You should be able to hit all muscle groups and progressively overload. First recommendation is to get some kind of training mat to use when using bodyweight exercises or when using weights on the floor. I use a yoga mat and it works really well. It's also great for yoga or mobility work, which I highly recommend that you add to your routine. Second, and the most important thing to get, is your main strength equipment. Here there are 3 choices: barbell, dumbbells or kettlebells. The barbell takes up a decent amount of space and it's a bit limited in the amount of exercises you can do. If you have a bigger gym and a rack and a bench, I think it's great, but for a smaller gym, this is not my recommendation. But if you're fine with a limited number of exercises and you maybe plan to buy a bench or a rack later on, I still think this is gonna be a great option. Dumbbells would be my choice. They take up very little space, you can do the most number of exercises, and if you get adjustable dumbbells, they're very quick to change the weight on. There are 4 different types. The first one is solid dumbbells. I think this is a great option if you're just starting out and want something cheap, where you can buy like say 3 kilos and 6 kilo dumbbells. You can start right on, no need to change weights, and later when you maybe upgrade to better dumbbells, these can be used either for warm-up or drop sets where you decrease the weight for the last sets. The second option is to get some cheap adjustable dumbbells. This is what I started out with. They don't have the nicest feel, but they work quite fine, and of course it's gonna be a lot cheaper. The third option is to get some more expensive adjustable dumbbells. Here they're gonna be a lot faster with changing the weights, and this gives a lot more flow when you're training. So for most people, this would be my recommendation, as I think this is a really good choice for exercising at home. Fourth option is to get some premium slow adjustable dumbbells. This is what I did with the Iron Master dumbbells. It takes a lot longer time to change weights, but the feeling of them is unmatched. And if I later on move to a bigger home gym with proper mats and a bench, I can load these with more weights than I ever can handle. Kettlebells is another option. For me, this is the worst version of the dumbbells. You can't do as many exercises. In general, harder to change weights on. There are some where you can change the weight, but they're not as common. But I know a lot of people prefer these. One of the better things with kettlebells is that they are better for explosive movements. So kettlebell swings, the kettlebell snatches are great. And also I think farmer's carry are quite nice with kettlebells. But for me, kettlebells are more as a add-on and not my main strength equipment. If you're looking for a truly minimal gym, I think that's enough. But there are a few things that I really recommend to make the training a lot better. Third thing I would buy is a pair of Parallettes. Without a bench, it's going to be a lot harder to hit chest well, and I would recommend doing a high volume of push-ups. And the Parallettes really help your wrists in doing a higher volume, and you can also go deeper for a bigger stretch. You can also train shoulders, abs and arms with the Parallettes. So for me, this is a great add-on that I use quite often. The next thing I would get is some kind of resistance bands. I use them mostly for rehab, for example, when I'm having issues with my shoulders, but they're also quite good for leg exercises, and there are even more things you can do if you search around. There's also quite nice that they take very little space, so I often put them in my backpack when I travel. If you're getting a bench, you can skip this one, But for people that don't, I can really recommend getting something to put on the floor to get you a bit higher up. I went with a meditation pillow, and one of the reasons I think it's a good choice is that I really recommend meditation also. So I use this for some exercises and also of course for meditation. The last thing I will think about buying is one kettlebell. As I mentioned earlier, I think they're great for some explosive work and can be a nice add-on if you want to train a bit of that. With this, I hope you have some inspiration for how to build a minimal home gym. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.